What's up, guys? All right, so today we're going to be doing a guide on how to get better aim and crosshair placement in Rainbow Six Siege. So I've been champion probably like this is like 10 seasons in a row. I'm in Face It Pro League. I play with and against pros fairly consistently, and I'm going to show you guys how to increase your mechanical ability and increase your crosshair placement and find the perfect sense for you, and work on increasing your aim ability in Rainbow Six. So let's get to it. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to take you through some just really quick mechanic guides to how to find your perfect sensitivity. So just go to a thing like this, like where you can find like 4 pulls in a row, or 5 even, and go to your sense, go to options, go to controls, and I have mine set to 800 DPI, 5 horizontal and 5 vertical, which is probably the fastest slow sense you can possibly have in Rainbow Six. So if you feel like your sense is like, let's say, I know a lot of people are like 20 or, you know, whatever. Like here, let's show you guys what 2020 is like. With a flick of the wrist, like I'm like spinning around, like you can just like nothing. So it's hard to build mechanical ability because I'm barely moving my wrist. So there's a lot of over flicking. Even though it's really fast, it's hard to build mechanical ability to hit that pull directly every time. So what I suggest personally is go into a sense slow enough that doesn't affect your movement, but fast enough that you can still move around consistently. So I found this at 5.5 for myself. And basically what I mean by this is like you want to be able to go from pull to pull quickly and accurately. So this is the aim training. This is it right here. This is just the basics to find your sense. If you're over flicking, let's say you're over flicking and having to come back, your sense might be too fast. If you do that consistently and having to like come back, your sense is too fast for what you're good for. There is no perfect sensitivity, so don't get it twisted. Like nobody will ever be able to tell you what is the best sensitivity in Rainbow Six. Everyone's different. If you're under flicking and then having to like doing this and like having to like kind of push it farther and it feels off, your sense might be too low. So for me, I have 5.5, 800 DPI. Move that mouse out of the way. All right. But for me, that's good. And now here's another aim thing you can do. So we're gonna do a drill. You go 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Just do that a couple times just to get used to moving your mouse around. So here, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. You want to be able to do that accurately and quickly. So I know that doesn't really make that much sense, and honestly that it's very simple, but that is just a really quick way to find a good sensitivity that works for you. That's what I've been doing. Like when I swap platforms, when I like try to find a different sense, I just do a quick little simple aim training like this, and your sensitivity, good to go. Now let's talk about something a little bit more complicated. Crosshair placement. So SenVale, how do I get better crosshair placement in Rainbow Six Siege? Well, the only real way is to play like a game like T-Hunt and just kind of honestly wander around. So I'm set to currently, I am set to 4-3 and 240 yards. So when you're walking around, you want to be aiming at where someone is going to be standing, because if they swing you, then you're ready to fight. Like just walking around, clearing room by room, and when you learn the maps, it'll be easier to check where people will be at. Walking around with your crosshair up, ready for fights. Keep your crosshair up. See, like shots like that, that aim wasn't anything crazy, but like your crosshair's already there. Let's say someone pops out, my aim, I don't have to move my crosshair too much to actually hit them. Crosshair's already up, we're already good to go, already good to go, already good to go. I'll see a lot of people just run into a room like this, then have to pull their gun up. That a lot of wasted time, and if anyone has their gun up, they're probably going to kill you. I know this is kind of like, okay, SenVale, that's obvious as hell, but you'd be surprised how often people don't do this. Walking around with your gun up, and when you get better at like knowing where people are going to be, you can sprint around a little bit more, but making sure you ADS before you actually get into a gunfight, before the enemy is actually going to see you. Because if you swing them and your crosshair is down, you are going to die. This is just me quick peeking, fast, running through. Pushing through. See, nothing too crazy here. So you're just wanting to run around and just really make sure you work on your crosser placement. You're not really necessarily trying to kill the terrorists in this. Like I don't care if you win the T-Hunt, but run around and maneuver your body around like someone might swing you from this angle, whether they actually do or not. Being ready to just take a gunfight if you had to. And like when you're like, it's like shadow boxing. Like just pretend like, you know, like when you're going through this, like how would you engage someone if they're swinging you from this angle? Word on this will make you a lot better at siege, a lot faster than you think. So I know this is really simple, but like, this is the most fundamental part of having better aim in Rainbow Six is having your gun ready for a firefight at all times. Because when you're ready for a firefight and someone swings you, you're going to be a lot faster responding if you're already ready to shoot. So the only time I'll ever have my crosshair placement not at head height is if I'm swinging someone that I know is probably going to be hiding in a room. Because then I might aim, instead of head height, I'll aim crouch height. Let's say they're in this room, I aim crouch height, and I only do that if I feel like they're going to be hiding in a corner. Otherwise, you're going to want to be aiming head height, because let's say someone's standing, so let's say these bullets are ahead, and this is crouch. Hey, shut up, I'm talking over here. So that's head height, and that's crouch height. When they're head height, you're always able to flick down. But if they're crouched and you're aiming too low, like yes, you'll body them and you'll try to go up to the head, but if they are already aiming at your head, they're gonna rip your head off. So when you're swinging around aggressively, you're gonna want to aim head height, like in hallways or whatever, because most people aren't gonna be crouch walking around in a hallway like this. They're gonna be standing so they can move quickly. Cross placement is going to take you a long time to really master because it requires a lot of map knowledge, like knowing where the door is at, where the next angle is, where the next angle you're going to be exposed at, what angle you're exposed to while I'm aiming at this. Like knowing that like when I'm on this angle, they can peek me from the hatch. If there's a rotate here and I'm like swinging like with this, watching this doorway, the blue walk up or mud, they can peek me from either that hole or this hole. It takes a lot of map knowledge and game sense that will take you a long time to master, but it is the quickest way at getting your aim at a solid enough level to get to the plat and diamond range. To get to the champion range, you are going to need a little bit more mechanics, which we're going to talk about shortly on how to build those mechanical abilities. The only real way to increase your aim beyond crosshair placement and just like being able to like, okay, I've seen people do these like crazy flicks, is to do an aim trainer like Aim Labs or Kovacs and just do a lot of aim training. Or you can do a lot of T-Hunt and just kind of work on like what we're talking about. But like when you're running around in T-Hunt, make sure you're doing it really fast to try to give the AI an advantage to catch you off guard. So you're able to put yourself in a situation where you don't quite know where things are at, giving you time to be able to react quickly. So what I would personally do, this is what I did. I did Aim Labs. So I did Aim Labs. I'm not just talking Grid Shot, the one that looks fancy. I'm talking all the other ones that don't look as flashy, but are the skills that you actually need to actually get better mechanics overall. And the reason why I like Aim Labs is because it turns into a game that is easy for you to track on your progress. So obviously there's going to be a lot of tasks you can do on Aim Labs, but I'm going to take you guys through a couple that I like to use to just kind of get your aim either A, warmed up, or B, just kind of work on mechanics. It makes it kind of fun. So I do think Grid Shot is kind of fun, but Grid Shot is not a good tool to get better aim on. I think that is just kind of obnoxious, and it kind of just tires you out and kind of stresses you out. And honestly, in an actual aim setting, you're not really going to need to be able to do this. You're going to want to build up more consistent fast flicks that are accurate. So what I like to use are games like the Motion Shot, which will show you guys a couple of Motion Shot, as well as Spider Shot for flicking. For tracking, I mean, tracking you can do whatever, but like I like strafe track. It's just on a track going back and forth, and you have to just keep your crosshair on the ball as much as you can. Speed, I like doing Motion Shot. You're just trying to, it shoots one ball in a direction, and you have to try to track it and take it out as fast as you can. exactly what it sounds, speed. So the shots are very easy to make, but your goal is to speed, to increase your speed of your aim. Precision, exact same one as spider shot, but for precision, the balls are a lot smaller, so it's less about speed and more about actually hitting those orbs without missing. And there is cognition, but cognition honestly is kind of a skip over. Like this is kind of irrelevant when it comes to siege or just general aim training. So flicking, tracking, speed, and precision. So flicking is just, you know, being able to go from one target to the next accurately and quickly. Tracking, being able to just stay on target. Speed, doing everything quickly. Precision, being able to hit those tiny little minute shots as fast as you can. So let's go over some of those. Micro shot. Works on your tiny flicks that you'll need after going from one target to the next. Being able to do it quickly. It's a strafe track, basically, like I always said. Keeping your crosshair on target. Work on your overall tracking on a target. And my favorites, motion shot speed. And of course, motion shot precision. Obviously, there's a lot of training you can do in here. I would stick with the highest ones on flicking, tracking, speed, and precision. And you can make it to a game, try to get a higher rank, and these ranks go up based on how high you are comparatively to the rest of the aim labs community. And it can turn into a game. Like, just try to work on this maybe like 20 minutes before you play Siege, or like, you know, to warm yourself up for your aim, as well as just get a little bit of aim training in. So when you do get in, you're a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident when you actually go for those firefights. All right, guys, that's it for today on how to increase your aim and cross replacement in Rainbow Six Siege. This is a ongoing thing. Like, I always try, anytime I play, I try to get my aim and mechanics and my cross replacement at the next level. It's going to be something that is very slow to build, but you want to make sure that you set the groundwork to get your mechanics to a decent level. So you're going to want to make sure that your sensitivity is decent, like you're at a good point where you feel very comfortable, because you don't want to get to a point where you're always changing it. Get to a point where you know it's like solid and you have it down packed. And then work on your cross replacement, work on walking around, like just visualize like where people might swing you from, how fast they'd swing, where you need to put your crosshair next, and then go from that. And then just your overall general mechanics of like flicking, tracking, all that fun stuff, that comes with time, and that comes with either a lot of gameplay or a lot of practice, and those are two things that you can't really fake. So all right, guys, hope this guys helped you out. If it did, make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, leave a like for more tips and trick guides coming out. So hey, appreciate you guys for stopping by.